Carsten Breitfeld.
I want a way to gain time instead of losing it.
How can we share time, not just spend time?
Why do they keep designing cars for the streets rather than for our lives?
It's time to enjoy life with a clean and clear conscience.
We're gonna build cars around life. It's time to shape our future.
Time to rethink the car.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, finished my meeting. Can you pick me up?
I'm close.
Yeah, I can meet you downtown. 8 p.m.?
Good.
See you there.
Hey.
Hey.
Nothing gonna stop me now.
Back towards the box. Breitfeld brings it down out of the sky brilliantly, and he'll curl it. Oh, what a goal!
Hi everyone, thank you very much for having me here today. I really feel honored that I have the chance to share some of my ideas about the future of the car industry and the future of mobility with you today. Some of you might know that I have been 20 years with BMW. And I did a lot of great jobs in this company. One of the last jobs has been that I was responsible for the BMW i8 program, which was really stunning program at BMW. And many people are asking me or asked me recently, why did you leave such a great company? Why did you leave such a great brand? And actually many people called me crazy, including my wife. And I will try to give you the answer during my presentation today, and I hope it becomes more clearer when I'm wrapping up. So if you would ask, does it make sense to set up a completely new company to do the next electric car in the market, then the answer probably would have been no, because there are so many companies out already, it doesn't make too much sense to create the next one. If you would ask me, does it make sense to set up a company to come up with the first real smart device on wheels, come up with completely new business models in the future making use of those technology, then the answer definitely is yes, and this is the idea behind BYTON. And again, some of those thoughts I'm going to share with you now. So what's going on in this industry right now? We have three major technology trends. First of us is being electric. Cars will be electric in the future, there's no doubt about it. Then we talk about smartness, which is basically connectivity and new styles of user interfaces, and obviously AI, which leads to autonomous vehicles. Now everybody's talking about electric, but to be honest, it's not so much about electric. Electric cars you can buy today. You can buy cars from California here, Teslas, giving you ranges about 500 kilometers. You can buy BMWs, there's a nice new Jaguar out. So this is done. The costs have to come down a bit, the volume has to go up, the quality maybe has to raise, and we need a bit more infrastructure, but basically this is on the way. But the next two technologies, smart and autonomous, this is what really makes a difference and gives us a chance to create completely new products and new business models. So what does it mean if we talk about smart cars? Smart cars have two dimensions. The first dimension adds value to societies, not only to the customers. So it is sustainability. I think everybody's talking about this. It is about smarter and safer transportation if we talk about autonomy, which will reduce traffic accidents, death people from traffic accidents and so on. And it gives us a chance to step into shared mobility concepts to protect our precious resources. This is the social side. And this is what drives smart mobility in the future. And then obviously there's the customer side, some human needs. People spend a lot of time in cars. Would be great to give them some kind of enjoyable time in their mobile life, some better time using smart technologies. And obviously it's all about connectivity, because this is what people do today. So if we look to today's cars on the left side, then it's all about the driver and some passenger. The whole product is designed for the driver, passenger sitting around. And we are talking about driving pleasure, shared driving pleasure, technology, and so on. In the future, the passengers will be users. So the car will become a smart device, and our passengers will be users. And we have to satisfy their needs. So what we see is what today is horsepower in cars might become data power. What today is better driving in those great brands will become better living. And what is performance today will become connectivity. So the attributes are changing. And this gives us a chance to come up with new business models. First of all, the products will be different. As I just mentioned, it will be smart device on wheels. And this product will look very different, as I am going to show you in some minutes. But using this smart device as a platform gives us complete new business opportunities. It gives us the opportunity to sell digital content to people, to make use of smart data, analytics, AI technologies, to integrate those cars to a cloud, which in our case is called BYTON Live. And having the product and having AI and all those data services, we can become a company to offer shared mobility solutions. And the product has to be prepared, and the cloud and the data models have to be prepared. And this, we think, is the future of transportation, and this is where the difference will be for the companies in the future. So again, the car will be part of a cloud and smart and open system. It will enable the personalization of a car. I will come back to this in a second. Obviously, we are talking about seamless connectivity and a complete new user experience. And this is what BYTON, the brand of BYTON, is about. Now, what does it take to set up such a company? First of all, even if we talk about a smart device on wheels, it's still a car. And to develop and to industrialize a car, to produce it in high volume, at a high quality level, and at a target cost, which really gives you business opportunities, this is one of the most complex jobs you can find in the industry, if not the most complex and difficult one. So you better don't try to reinvent this part. Just take over the excellence of the current premium car industry. And this is what we're doing. And therefore, our concept and engineering design center is in Munich, in Germany, in a 200-kilometer circle where all the big premium OEMs, Mercedes, BMW, and Audi, are today. When it comes to the smart part of the car, when we talk about high-speed connectivity, about AI, about autonomous driving, about big screens, new user interfaces, and don't do this in Germany, don't do this in the traditional car industry, there you need leading-edge technology, and this is what you find today here in the United States, in Silicon Valley. And this is the reason why our R&D center is located in Santa Clara, having something like 300 people right now, and we are going to be 500 by end of the year, to coming up with those cutting-edge technologies. And then the third part is China will be the biggest market and the first market where those products will be successful. We are completely convinced about that. You need the supply chain, you need the production excellence in China, and strong support from the Chinese government. And this is the reason why our headquarters and local R&D and supply chain and production is located in China, in Nanjing. So it's a global company, it's a global brand rooted in China. Okay, what does it mean with respect to the product? We just unveiled our first product, we call it BYTON Concept, but actually it's a car we are going to launch to the market by end of next year. at the beginning of this year in Las Vegas at the CES. Why at the CES? CES is not a car show because it is a smart device on wheels and it's not to be perceived at the car. We get very good feedback. In the meantime, we launched it in Europe 2 weeks ago in Milan. Interestingly, during the Milan Design Week, because it's more about user experience and living space than about the car. And last week we have been in Beijing, the Beijing Motor Show, and at the China premiere of the car. If we look to the product, again, it's still a car, and car starts with design. So whatever kind of connectivity and smartness we are talking about, it has to have an outstanding design. And design in the car world is something very difficult because you combine two dimensions. One is between being, let's say, traditional and modern, and the other one is being between well-perceived or beautiful and polarizing. So you find a lot of traditional cars, very beautiful. If you look to Tesla, nobody will say that Tesla is an ugly car, but it's quite traditional design. And you will find some of the new cars being very modern and very polarizing, if you think about the Faraday car. But you don't see too many which are modern and beautiful at the same time. But this is what you have to achieve if you want to sell cars on volume in the market. So, beautiful design. Second one is, if you want to be successful in car industry, it's about scale. So you need volume. And this means you have to build your cars on a platform, and a technical platform, which doesn't change if you put different top hats on it. So in our case, we created a platform, it's a base model, giving you a range of 400 kilometers or 250 miles with a 200 kilowatt powertrain. And there's a high variant giving you 325 miles of range with a 350 kilowatt powertrain. And the starting point of this model will be $45,000 for the entry point. You have to hit a price position like this, because if not, you will not be able to come up with volume. Technologies, autonomous driving will be the key for smart cars in the future. You definitely have to be prepared for it. End of next year, many people are talking about very different things on autonomous driving, but what will happen? By end of next year, we will see level 3 cars in the street, and we will be one of the first companies offering level 3 autonomous driving. But level 4, which really will bring us to a very interesting level of autonomy, will follow by the end of 2020, and the car is completely prepared to do level 4 driving. Now, it's very important that the hardware configuration of the car supports it, that you have the sensor technology, that you have the package space, that you have computing power, and that the update through the different levels of autonomous driving can only be done by software. This is the same concept you might use with your smartphone today. You buy a hardware, whatever is the newest functionality you just download, and this is what we have to introduce in the car world as well. And this is very different today. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the car industry. So in car industry today, 2 years before you go to the market, the product has to be completely defined, hardware and software, 2 years before. And then you don't change anything. You just do quality and bring it to production, which means the car is already old the day it comes to the market. This is the reason why nobody uses the navigation system which is built in. Everybody is using their own phone. And then the car is sold for 7 years, more or less unchanged, so it's very old when it goes out of production. And this one we have to change. We will sell people a hardware platform, and they will be able to download the newest functionality at all times. Connectivity being the second important technology. In connectivity, it's not only important to be fast, so having 4.5G or 5G when it is available. It is very important to have the right coverage and have to have stability in your connections. Because autonomous driving and all this, the user experience I'm going to show you, depends on stable connections. So we are investing very much in this technology, in antenna technology, in the gateway technology, to make sure that we have the highest connectivity, the highest safety and connectivity level. If you look to the interior, this is where you really see that we're doing something completely different and new. We basically don't call this an interior, we call this a digital lounge. And the reason is you find a lot of space inside, you find a lot of variability, and this car is purpose-built for electric powertrains, and it's purpose-built for having this kind of experience. It does mean, because we don't have to protect space for a combustion engine, the front part of the car is smaller, the interior is much bigger, and as it would be in a car of the same exterior size. You have rotatable seats, we will see this in a second. We moved for the technical person of you might understand it, the HVAC system, which is the heating and climate unit, air conditioning unit, we moved this to the front of the firewall to get additional space below the dashboard. So it's all about space and variability. And here you see it, the front seats can be rotated by 12 degrees. This means the driver and the passenger go to a very comfortable seating position, and this opens up the view from the rear seats to the big screen in the front, which we call shared experience display, and where you can do entertainment videos, phone calls, video conferences, or PowerPoint presentations, whatever you like. This big screen, this shared experience display, is actually the first time that it goes to production in car industry. It will be the biggest and most capable display in cars you ever have seen. Second innovation in the interior is this tablet in the middle of the steering wheel. There's basically two functions. It's the primary control of the car for the driver. You can adjust your seat position, adjust temperature, and all the controls of the car. But it can be converted into an Android tablet at standstill or low speed autonomous driving. And you know, I'm living in Palo Alto here in Silicon Valley, go down to Santa Clara every morning to our office. Average speed on 101 highway is around 5 miles an hour, and everyone has the left hand on the steering wheel and the right hand his smart device to do whatever people do. So this time is over now. You can use this tablet in front of you to do it. Then just an example what the content will be. Health is one of the issues we are going to offer as content. Your wearables will be connected to the car. Your blood pressure and even your weight can be measured here. If you don't like the weight function, you can obviously disable it, but it will show you your health state. It will offer you some additional services which you might be interested in to take care about your health. You have the same thing for entertainment, you have the same thing for work, and obviously for communication. So this is what the functionality is about. Now what's next if we look to the future? This car it's a 5-seater, has a big trunk, the first real smart device on wheels. The next step will be to think about vehicle architectures and platforms which are purpose-built for shared mobility. This means if you take into account that if you look to Uber, for example, or Lyft, 60-70% of the rides with only one person in the car, you might think that purpose-built cars for shared mobility even look different. This is what we're working about already now as the next step, and we are going to show something at CES in Las Vegas next year, and you can be excited what you're going to see. Okay, this is what I wanted to share with you today, and I hope it became a bit more clearer why I left BMW. This is quite an exciting time right now. There are a lot of opportunities, and I'm really passionate to make use of it. Thank you very much for your attention.